What's going on, guys? It's your man, Dr. Will, and you guys know the deal. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Even if you're watching the replay, guys, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. I'm here in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona, where God vacations. So wherever you are in the world, let me know what city, what state, what country you're chiming in from. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the notification so you know when we go live. We go live every day, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. PST time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you are in the world, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Just getting my morning, every morning, I like to have some ginger. So I'm making my ginger drink this morning. Just helps keep you cleaned up on the inside. So every morning I drink this, and it just helps me with my voice and everything else. As a speaker, you want to make sure you protect your number one asset. So today, guys, I want to talk to you guys about finding what works for you, This whole week, I've been taking you behind the scenes and sharing with you my morning routine. As I said earlier in the week, that I wake up every morning, 3 a.m., and I have a routine that I do that I call my 10 before 10. And a lot of times when we watch people on social media, or we read somebody's book and we read their routine, we try to emulate what they're doing. What I want you guys to do is find the routine that works for you. Now take some ideas, but then you need to figure out what works for you, because that's when you're going to find that motivation to do it. That's when you're going to find that inspiration to do it. If you're working my program, you're not going to be as motivated because you don't feel like you're in control. So you want to find, let me switch this a little bit. You want to find a routine that works for you. So waking up at 3 a.m. probably doesn't work for you. It may not work for you. And it's not so much about when you wake up. It's about what you do with the time you have, And then we talked earlier in the week about the law of consistency. And if you understand compound interest, if you just keep doing the right things, For instance, if you say you want to write a book, well, for the most part, you're never going to get an opportunity where you can take 2 months off and go to the mountains and just write your book. That's probably not going to happen. Your life is probably not fixed that way. But if you took 20 minutes a day, just 20 minutes a day to write, then before long, you'll finish that book. Versus what most people do is trying to wait for the right time, trying to find that 2 months where I can take off and write this book. That's not how it happens. It's the law of consistency and compound interest, and you being willing to be consistent 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. So that may mean you waking up at an extra 30 to 45 minutes earlier. You make that commitment. You say, you know what? I'm going to wake up 30 minutes earlier so I can get my writing in. And then I'm going to write 30 minutes before I go to bed. Right there, that's an hour a day. You write an hour a day over a 20-day period. That's 20 hours of writing. Right? You can get a lot done. And so one of the things that I find out with a lot of people is they get overwhelmed because they let everything stack up, because they're trying to find a week to do this, the weekend or whatever. It just rarely happens like that. So you want to find these pocket of times that you're committed to. Like I told you earlier in the week, I do like to wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because no one else is going to be up. No one else is going to be bothering me. been my experience that emergencies, they don't wake up until about 10 o'clock in the day, right? So you want to kind of find the time that works for you. So if you're working a full-time job, don't overextend yourself. Don't overextend yourself. What's going on, Erica? What's going on, Jamal? Don't overextend yourself. Just find a routine, find a process, find the habits that work for you. That's where all the magic is going to happen. And so I want everybody to commit to finding, an extra 30 minutes, commit to finding an extra hour. And then you allow that time to compound, right? Compound interest. So an hour today, hour tomorrow, 5 hours a week, 20 hours, a month. That's a part-time job, right? And so if you're trying to write a book, if you're trying to build a side business or whatever, you think about it like that. I'm just going to work on my side thing, like it's a part-time job. And so I'm going to give it 2 hours a day. I'm going to give it, 6 hours a week. However the time works for you, it's all about consistency, guys. That's where the magic really begins to happen, is in consistency. It's in consistency. I told you guys earlier this week, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. So what can you do to organize your life where you're finding these little pockets of time? If you look on the weekend, you look at a Saturday and a Sunday, and you say, you know what? Each of those days, I'm going to commit 2 hours. So Saturday morning, I'm going to wake up before everybody else, 2 hours. Sunday morning, I'm going to wake up before everybody else, 2 hours. That's 4 hours just right there. That's 4 hours just right there. So you're doing throughout the week, you're doing, 1 hour, but then that weekend, you add another 4 hours, right? So that's 9 hours. That's 9 hours that now you've committed. So 9 plus 9 is 18. You see what I mean? So now you got 36 for the month. So now you're starting to find that time. It's just you being intentional about how you're going to invest your time. That's the key. That's the key. You being intentional about how you're going to invest your time, and then making the commitment. And then here's the hammer, right? Be driven by your commitment and not your feelings. Let me say that again. Be driven by your commitment to yourself and not your feelings. Because every day you're not going to feel like waking up an hour early. Every Saturday you're not going to feel like waking up 2 hours earlier. This is why you got to be committed to your word to yourself. Be committed to your word to yourself. Don't be committed to your feelings. Don't be driven by your feelings, because every day you're not going to feel like it. Every day you're not going to feel like it. But you got to be committed to what you're committed to, and be committed to your word to yourself. And so I want you guys to think about this and ask yourself, what areas can I be committed to? What things can I be committed to? And then you'll begin to see over time the results and how much more you get accomplished. I know people who have these long to-do lists, and before they even get started, they feel overwhelmed. So they never get started because I'm never going to have the time to finish all of this. So they just let it keep piling up and piling up. But if you write that same list and say, okay, this project is 5 hours. It's going to take me 5 hours to do this project. Well, you're probably not going to find 5 hours in your day, but you can find an hour. And so that project that may take 5 hours, you say, you know what? I'm committing an hour a day to this project. And at the end of the week, it'll be done. Cross it off. Move to the next one. Versus, I never found the 5 hours to do it, or I don't even want to work for 5 straight hours doing this thing. And so now you sapped your energy already. But if you can get motivated, and then you begin to see the progress, you begin to see the progress after 1 hour, after 2 hours, after 3 hours. And like I said, at the end of the week, boom, that project's done. So you want to make sure that, once again, you're finding the activities that work best for you. So listen, to a person like Dr. Will, listen to anybody else you want to listen to, but take the information, process the information, and then make it work for you in your life. All right. So that's what I have for you guys today. Hope you have a fantastic day. Like I always say, go out there and dominate. And I'll see you guys tomorrow right back in Genius Nation. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscription button, hit the notification button so you don't miss another video. All right, guys, talk to you later.